All right, you assholes.
Holy fuck at the diversity. You've never been oppressed in your goddamn life.
Do not post any hateful content or make hateful comments.
You've never been oppressed in your goddamn life, you bitch.
We need the Glen buck.
Oh yeah, give us the Glen buck.
Come on.
Damn, where is it at?
Diversity.
Do not post any hateful content. It's not okay ever to post videos that could provoke hatred.
You can pick up the softback trade paper.
The what now? What? How do you build stuff, man? Like in water?
Underwater welding. It's one of the most essential jobs on the planet.
The gayest Marvel project yet. Do you agree?
It better be.
Give me the damn money, Glenn.
EVS, who was the smartest person on that actual Fandom podcast?
You're John Wick? More like John Bitch.
Yeah.
The thing where you like, right, you do that. You sprinkle it on top. It adds a little like spice on it. Yeah. It comes. You guys should try it.
And you can do it too. Like if you build your entire internet persona around being a smarmy motherfucker, like you better have some bulletproof shit.
I want to watch Hulk punch that dog in the dick again. Because he does. He punches that Hulk dog right in the dick.
I think probably Eric the Bunks is the smartest person on there.
Who the hell is the organized chaos guy, and why is he hate boner for you? I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Hey Mola, you should debate some of your haters on EFAP. It would be hilarious. Bring organized chaos.
I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know.
Pretty clearly, he's the smartest person.
They don't actually want Disney or Marvel or Lucas or any of these companies to change what they're doing because it would destroy their business model, and there is no financial incentive for them to be happy or excited about any of this. So this entire video that I took this from is absolutely disingenuous. I don't believe you, Critical Drinker, and I definitely do not believe Gary from Nerdrotic.
Bombshell indictment. U.S. prosecutors allege a media company linked to conservative influencers who regularly reach millions, including Benny Johnson, was secretly funded by Russian state media employees.
And a little busy this week in the old news section of the internet. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
Appreciate everything you've done for us.
We got Nerdrotic. Oh! Gary up on the channel. The great Alex Jones. Oh, yes! Let's go!
Is it me? Is it you? Who knows?
Okay, you the big bad booty daddy.
They're all liars and grifters. They just want their paychecks to put money in their bank account. That's their grift.
Hey guys, sorry, I have to go.
What, 3 minutes?
Hello.
3. Dane's slacking.
That was mercifully
3
short.
minutes.
Mercifully
Yeah.
short.
Dude,
That was
like I started the intro and I was like, okay, time to get an episode of Star Trek in.
I mean, in that case, then I'm very glad that it didn't last very long. Because that would have been time badly spent.
Yeah.
My schedule is wrecked.
Hell yeah.
How's
How you guys
everybody
doing? You guys having a good time? Good October?
Yeah. Been very busy. But
yeah, I was about ready to say I still haven't caught up on sleep. I'm very excited for Friday when I'm off work.
That sounds amazing.
Yes.
What about you, Dane?
Sleeping in.
We got to start thinking about what we're going to do for Halloween content.
That is true. I remember last year we did that
did the tier list of the monsters.
Tier
Yeah.
list. Right? That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What
yep.
we should do is a tier list for monsters.
Well, I mean, what we're actually going to do, probably maybe before we do that, would be, celebrate 2 years of this motherfucker, and do like we were talking about in the server, like doing a, we talked about for a while doing an awards show. Could fold that into it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, we got way more potential candidates, like for nominees for winning awards.
Yeah, there's
who doesn't want a Shilly?
A Shilly. There's
Exactly.
more. As many have pointed out, there are now a lot more channels that are calling out this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just us anymore.
True.
And like Bob said, who wouldn't want a Shilly?
The important work people are doing not on YouTube too.
Yeah,
like the most important work.
That's not on YouTube.
Yeah, Twitter's where you do all the important work.
No.
So what is the initiative? That is a good question. Whenever we figure that out, we will let you know. 2 years in, we're still kind of.
Hey, we know what it is. We're just waiting until the time is right to tell everyone.
That is true.
I mean, some would say that there was an idea, to bring together a group of
extraordinary individuals.
Yeah.
They got us instead, but still.
Yeah.
And
a group of anti-wokers.
Exactly. And perhaps we could become something greater.
Yes, we
I don't know what that is yet, but
I just put in an order for some bots, dude. Just give it a minute. They take a minute to load up.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Takes a while.
I mean,
it'll come out. We'll get some Russian bots. They'll have some very tasteful things to say.
And sadly, it's pretty expensive. But with the check we've got coming in from Disney, it's pretty.
Yeah,
it's all sorted out.
I don't know about you guys, but
boy,
like, I paid my rent this month. Like,
oh hell yeah,
yeah.
You know what?
Disney taking care of me.
Same.
Big Papa Mouse.
Big Papa Mouse.
Yeah. No. So okay. Well, so the initiative for anybody that's actually curious and doesn't know. Well, individually, we were YouTubers who were making content addressing the types of content that there's an abundance of, although it seems to be a little bit less now, maybe.
Yeah.
Or at least less potent. It's like constantly lying about Star Wars and comic books and movies and, saying everything is woke and bad and MCU and all that garbage that doesn't mean anything. And yet they somehow, manage to amass in some cases, impressive subscriber count of easily led people.
Yeah.
And we just got tired of it, and we've been making content independently to address that stuff. And then finally we just kind of like looked over at each other. We're like, hey, what if we didn't do this as individuals sometimes?
And we looked at each other and we said,
And I will make it a threesome.
Yes.
And it happened.
Hell yeah.
It was beautiful. And I can only play that because Eric's not here. But yes. If Eric was here, it would just be really fucking confusing.
Because then we all get nervous about who's left out.
Yeah. Wait. Who's not in that?
Who's not in the threesome?
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta do math.
What about this guy? This is Zordon, right? Like this.
Oh God.
Classy.
Whoa! You just killed my comment.
Ooh.
Initiative.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, the head's the most important part. You got to make sure the head is well taken care of.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. There's people that we're into those people that some of them were just making regular ass content, and then they just suddenly weren't. But
yeah, they're people. They were just normal people, and then.
Wait a minute.
Who
are you?
Is it me?
Is it you?
Who knows?
Yes. Does your person wear glasses? Yes.
He's an asshole.
So guess who still has some Guess the Grifter left?
I'm guessing the only literal podcast show that plays this game. It's us.
Yeah, Yeah, exclusive show, guys.
Has the Ray movie been quietly canceled?
Yeah, let's see. How many did we actually go through the other day? I guess we can find out. Turf, do you have any guesses?
This has got to be organized chaos.
True. It was definitely organized chaos.
I'm curious. I'm trying to think of who actually asked
or some shit
with a question mark.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Lindsay. I've been cheating on you.
I guess my guess is like critical drinker kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, might be drinker.
Yeah, it could also definitely be like a Geeks and Gamers, just like, you know, because some of the channels have more like structure to theirs.
True.
Yeah, like this just seems like like this is what my video is about. You know,
well,
it's like
this, this one, yeah, critical stinker.
Hell yes,
cynical dinker, whatever you want to call him.
Cynical dinker.
Woke Spider-Man 2 slammed by fans.
Oh, better. It's not neurotic. It doesn't really use woke much, right?
And yes, there's a little bit of overlap if you were here last week, but
it's that's Ryan Kinnell.
Yeah, I mean it's very short to be Ryan Kinnell, but
I mean he's pretty, stupid. So
that is true. We might not know that many words. I mean, because doesn't he try to like cram as many fucking buzzwords into one title as possible?
Typically, yes.
Yeah. What the fuck? I don't know, like fucking
Marco. I will go ahead and say on my channel, I would leave them up unless they get cut into videos. And then once I cut them into videos, I will take them down to members only. Remember?
Yeah.
My channel's not generally the one you want to go to if you were looking for a stream past the first 24 hours. Because I like to give that to these guys because like my channel's not monetized. So I'm, just taking up what potentially could be ad revenue on their channels.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I always guesses, which I think that's decent, but
I always forget to monetize my streams. But yeah, I also make them members after a while, so that's probably why.
Mm-hmm. So this one is actually
Messiah Rises. Fuck.
Because I couldn't even find this video on YouTube for some reason. Mediaholic by Lauren Chen. I don't know what's up with that.
I know that name from somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe YouTube.
I don't know what's up with her. It's not like she's giving state's evidence about Russia connections or anything, but yeah, we have no idea. No idea. The garbage that passes for Star Trek nowadays.
Oh boy.
Ooh. Oh, who's a Star Trek guy? That's the thing. I wouldn't know. Never paid attention to a Star Trek title in my life.
I feel like we looked at this one last week.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's a little bit of overlap.
It's gotta be Nerdrotic.
You think so? Ooh,
I don't think Steve Shives would do that. It's a wild guess. You're wrong, but
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can indemn me on that. Yeah.
Hey,
Dave Cullen.
Oh, that's a good
Danny
guess.
boy, let's avoid just like using drug addict is just like just that's all you got to say. That's a bad thing about that guy.
Hollywood hypocrisy over politics.
Yeah, no, it's
Cancel
typically
culture
something
hits
I'm
new
against,
level.
but when it comes to Nerdrotic, I don't know. He's kind of introduced it onto himself. It's I don't know.
Okay, here we
I
have
have
another
mixed feelings, but yeah.
Here we have another standard looking one. The last part, the cancel culture hits new level. Like the second title.
Oh, sorry,
just to get
I didn't
more.
even properly read this. Hollywood hypocrisy over politics. Cancel culture hits new level.
Hell yeah.
That is Jeremy Griggs or Ryan Kinnell.
Yeah, exactly. This is a very standard one. Could it be like Yellow Flash or some shit? I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with GG.
Somebody guessed the quartering. Well, we already been
Correct.
talking about him. So. Oh boy.
Yeah. I feel like
and now we're officially into fresh stuff, I believe. Oh no,
Yep.
wait, that I think this was the last one because Netflix has ruined Lara Croft.
Oh, this has to be Melanie Mack, right? She's like a big Tomb Raider fan.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm not even going to wait too long for this one because this one was obvious.
Yeah,
because I saw that I was like, yeah, that's Melanie.
Yeah.
The Rings of Power is an abomination. Amazon
Nerdrotic.
hates Tolkien.
Nerdrotic.
I'll give people a moment, but I think you're right.
Bob, your volume is just gone for some reason. Say something.
Try to talk.
Okay, there you are.
I think it's fine. It was just weird for a little bit.
Yeah, I think audience pretty much has this one too. It is.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
Nerdrotic for sure.
Yeah,
it was pretty.
He's the fucking Lord of the Rings expert.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, yeah. Wow, the old ways. You need to up your game. I mean, you don't have thumbnails like this.
Well, speaking of which, what he does have though is good videos about Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. He's got a new one up. Excuse me, about the finale and about how this show actually made dwarves cool, whereas the Jackson movies kind of made a joke out of dwarves.
Yeah,
that's true.
Dwarves are pretty fucking cool in this series. I gotta say.
You saw the finale, Bob?
Yep, I'm all caught up. And I will say, the only actually the humans are the ones that don't really impress me. But everybody, all the other races in Rings of Power, I'm like fucking into.
Oh yeah, you're into that.
Yeah, Bob's into them.
He's into that interracial shit.
Oh yeah, interracial all day. All right. The Acolyte is a bigger Disney Star Wars disaster than we thought. $230 million down the drain.
RK Outpost, Yellow Flash, or Quartering, something like that. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like this is a bit tame for Ryan Kinnell, but maybe that's just.
Well, this could be Star Wars theory then, right?
It could be.
That's really base of you, man. Wow, man, that's so progressive. But I keep getting the wrong fucking thing. Yeah, come on, here we go.
I guess I haven't seen. Yeah, I haven't looked at Star Wars theories titles in a while. It could be. But yeah, I'm still gonna go with one of the other grifters.
What do you mean? Theory's not a grifter.
Oh yeah, true. I've never seen him in one of the clips of.
No, I'm gonna show you a clip here.
That's true.
It'll fucking change your mind here in a minute. We'll look at this and call him a grifter. It's fucked up.
So this one, it's RK, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's RK Outpost.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh no.
I know we watched
celebrating Benny Johnson hitting 2 million subs with Nerdrotic and Alex Jones.
We watched this this groomer daisy chain happen in real time, right? From fucking the Phantom Menace Chuds to Theory, and then now the Stupendous Wave gets pulled over there too. It's oh man. Oh, okay. Well, that's probably Geeks and Gamers.
Yeah, it's got to be the other person who was on that stream, right? What?
Quartering wasn't
it's
there.
Shadiversity, obviously.
Become familiar with your lore.
Grifter lore, guys. Come on.
Shad is definitely relevant enough to be on that stream.
I mean, you guys pretty much identified it. It's one of his it's like his third channel with Jeremy Prime or whatever. But yeah, it's Jeremy Griggs.
Yeah.
Wait, well, wasn't this one of the few things that what was it? Grayson got wrong when he, or got a little bit of criticism for when he did his tweet thing on Geeks and Gamers. He was Jeremy Prime, as he was thinking that was his full name.
Oh, maybe I don't remember.
I think I remember that. It was just a little bit funny.
Ramon, it's more if you have a dog or a couple of dogs and you take them out to shit every day, you can kind of recognize which shit is which dogs. You know, that's what I say. That's more.
Oh, maybe you can.
Bro,
you know that this one dog kind of shit's funny, and I don't know, like.
Bro said they're like poets with signature stylistic flourishes.
I couldn't let him get away with that.
See,
That's
I just
amazing.
want to see a person sitting there drawing the dog shit. And it's like, oh, this looks a little different.
Oh yes.
Look at this texture.
I am really highlighting the disaster here. This is.
Now, hold on. Do we have a few more or what?
Yeah, we got a couple more.
Oh, I need to see
Kathleen
the
Kennedy.
rest of these poets.
Kathleen Kennedy responds to Critical Drinker and it backfires. This is something that definitely happened, guys. Something.
Yeah, I remember the time Kathleen Kennedy responded to Critical Drinker, and then it backfired.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck?
I mean, this is
she got fired again.
I mean,
yeah, she
this
gets
can't be-
fired all the time.
This can't be one of like the main guys, right? Like this has to be a.
It's gotta be theory.
This guy does really good on views. I don't know if I'd consider him a main guy, but
Mike Zero.
I
just pulled the Eric line.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's Mike Zero. I don't know if he like would mention Critical Drinker. Maybe.
This is the guy who
Yellow
mentions
Flash.
Critical Drinker a lot.
Yeah,
I'd say half his videos mention Critical Drinker in positive light.
Damn. Fucking Yellow Flash.
See, it's not going to be
maybe.
Mahler. You got to recognize that Mahler, they're going to have their stuff is typically going to be in the context of like as if they're reviewing, discussing the media itself.
Yeah,
they're not usually going to get into this type of like meta, kind of stuff. Even though they will talk about that shit like in the videos, but they won't name their shit that.
Yeah, they'll be like the video will be like, why this acolyte sucks or whatever, right? And then like the first line will be like, Kathleen Kennedy attacked.
Yeah,
Critical Drinker. It's like just Josiah Rises. No, you said someone who gets a lot of views. Heel versus Babyface.
I actually haven't seen it yet from anybody.
I'm gonna make the black one a black one.
And Demion.
Oh, delete your channel, dude.
Fuck.
Not you. I mean, Demion.
Don't you dare
you can if you
mention
want
him.
to. I don't care, man. Whatever.
No. You're not the puppet master. Oh
wait, so I don't delete my channel?
Yeah, no, please don't.
No.
Oh shit.
bother.
Oh fuck.
Unless you want to.
Okay, I think nobody's coming up with this one. This is Jesse Grant.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, I would not have.
Who is always just simping for Critical Drinker like every
And he's always got like this fan fiction angle to his shit too. Like
yeah, remember when Kathleen Kennedy was on Twitter saying Star Wars isn't for white men? Something that I pretty much guarantee she's never fucking said.
A person like Kathleen, like these people think Kathleen Kennedy is some raging leftist.
Yeah.
That she would go onto Twitter and say Star Wars isn't for white men.
they actually believe that the Forces female thing had something to do with Star Wars. That was like a Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like this goofy fucking joke, and god damn.
And to like and even so, like
a million chud thumbnails.
And like they see that and they attribute her to being some kind of radical feminist. Like no, she's the fucking
Acknowledging females exist is radical feminism.
Yes,
she's the fucking head of Lucasfilm, a massive corporation. She's not gonna be openly leftist, even if she was, and I doubt that she is.
I know I did something fun for the last one. What is it? These guys are yes. These guys are always wrong. Eric July and Az loud and incorrect as usual.
This is the biggest grifter of them all.
Yes.
He's not here right now. I wouldn't say it to his face.
Is this Eric Debunks?
Ridiculous.
Yep.
Fucking
how dare he?
Giant grifter. This one. It's
Look at those thumbnails. Jesus.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a fucking grifter.
He's doing.
I mean, honestly, like seriously, like I recognize he's trying to do like a chud thing, but his still looks like objectively more, better. It's just like better design. And there's
yeah. No, the chud thumbnails are something special.
Yeah.
That's it. Guess the grifter's over.
Right,
I can't fucking get over they're like poets.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's
Ramon.
amazing.
Ramon's the shit. So you said that Star Wars Theory is a grifter, and I present to you, sir.
Yeah, he's objectively not.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the Acolyte poster? I think it looks like somebody's having their period and just decided to wipe it right by that lightsaber. I feel like there should be like a
right there.
I think
there's definitely some
He refuses to be on stream whenever Ryan Kendall is saying something shitty.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is like definitely a grifter moment, but I don't see Star Wars theory there, so I don't know why you clump him with this.
Yeah. Do you think, like, have you guys seen anyone defending theory in these being like, well, obviously, like he's not agreeing with the stuff that he's saying. That's why he's removing himself from the situation.
Oh, that fucking deniability. Oh my god.
I know some, like, I know.
It's like, how
someone
often has he
used that.
streamed with Ryan Kendall?
Yeah, and he comes back.
That's a good point, Ramon. I mean, yeah, he wouldn't say that if he was a right-wing chef. I mean,
that is true.
You're doing guilt by association, man. I mean, that's what we're doing, apparently.
Yeah,
true.
That's one of the stupidest things, man. Like, for one thing, nobody's saying what are you saying that what are you guilty of? You have a guilty conscience about. We're not like a court of law, you know. But I think you can fucking judge somebody a little bit by the company that they keep on a regular goddamn basis.
Yeah,
I think it's fair.
If Bob was out here spewing racist shit all the time and I was streaming with him every week, I think that'd reflect on me, even if I wasn't saying this stuff.
Well, that's why DJ's not on with us every week, because he doesn't want to like look like friends.
It's like, oh god, you guys are gonna do racist shit, aren't you? That's what we do.
Yeah, he comes back on
women.
Oh,
they're all gonna be synced up.
And he leaves again.
That's what I think.
He got back in for a split second, Ryan, and
Yeah.
booted him right out again.
There you go.
Yeah,
I don't know what I proved, but something.
I mean, prove that he is a grifter. There's also thought behind it. It's like he has a role to play for them.
It's true. He thinks that we're babies. He like he literally sees everybody as babies. If I can double that word.
What?
Where'd he go? He's
What?
gone.
What?
He was just there.
I
Huh?
don't even know who we're talking about now, guys. What?
What do you mean he was there? He wasn't there. I saw it with my own eyes.
What?
Yep.
Who are we even talking about? I don't see anything.
What is your point? I mean, that's true. That is true. You can be racist, and it's free speech. That's just a true thing. But what is your point about that?
Yeah, I did a weird statement. Yes, racism. Definitely elements of it are very much protected by free speech. So the fuck.
We also
what?
have freedom of association. We also have free speech to tell other people that this person says shitty things about races that is technically racism, and you should not like support or consume that person's content.
Yeah,
it's a joke. Ha ha ha! It's a joke. It's a joke. All right, sorry.
Don't do this to us.
My God.
Don't make jokes.
I can't handle.
I'll start going off on somebody, and I won't even realize.
No,
because
we're all gonna go off.
I'm not. I don't fucking. It's not obvious to me.
Well, I think you listen. You have to recognize the fact that we deal with chuds who are sometimes trolling, and then sometimes they're being 100% fucking serious.
Right.
Yeah, we've seen this thing many times and it can either be read like this, racism. It's just free speech, or it can be read like racism. It's just free speech, and it's like and I feel like we hear both, and
yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
Thank you, Mikey. We're not here to have fun with you people.
No,
we're not here to fucking goof around or any of that other bullshit.
Listen, you might be confused because we just played a game. That was a very serious game, very hardcore. Okay,
hell yeah,
don't fuck with it.
But how about this shit?
Man, what?
You're fucked, dude. I'm fucked. If we lose, I'm fucked.
It does seem that way. You can't just be like,
Yeah, I'm like, how long do you think my prison sentence is gonna be? Do you think? Will I see my children? I don't know.
Because it's not like you can say, well, yeah, I maxed out.
So I think the context of what they're talking about, by the way, that was cut out of there was right before that. He says something like, Elon says something about isn't it noticeable that nobody's tried to kill Kamala? You know, as if like suggesting like because she hasn't had an assassination attempt, then she must not be worth much. Like you're not cool unless your people are trying to kill you, basically.
Yeah.
Cool. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been.
Yeah, exactly. Thide Wraith. Yeah, he didn't see his kids.
So real quick, somebody got a super chat. Star Wars Theory has the Force Testosterone merch.
Oh,
that is cringe. That is
thank you to whoever you sent, or thank you from whoever you sent that to.
Yes, yes.
That's the thing with StreamYard, we don't really know.
Yeah, it doesn't say. I don't know whose chat you're in. Even I don't know.
No clue.
You could be anywhere.
What do we want to talk about first? We're going to talk about the fact that we just got the first fucking bit of ISOM product in months since the lawsuit was settled. The lawsuit that said, it's according to Eric, from what I remember, it was just basically, no, I ain't going to change shit. No, everything's, I'm going to call it ISOM. Nothing's going to change. I didn't lose. There's no settlement. Nothing. We just came to an agreement. Is basically what he said.
And yeah. I kind of assumed something like this would happen, although this is way dumber than I thought it would be.
It's really fucking dumb. Because, I mean, he basically, in order to be legally distinct, he became what he hated, which is somebody who has a fucking self-insert character. We already knew it was. We knew it was. But, I mean...
Young ISOM. You know, I just assumed he'd go Ripverse versus ISOM because, you know, there you go. But this is just so dumb.
Yep.
This is amazing.
Thank you, Turf. Somebody has to appreciate it.
I love this.
Do you think ladies would talk to us?
No.
Oh, I'm scared of ladies.
Have we ever had a lass on the stream?
Yes, we've had a couple. Yeah,
we've
had Chariot. We had, well, yeah. What?
True.
What else we had?
Definitely. There's a lot of times where we have guests where I'm just not on them.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I think we must be stinky or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You smell like an old sock. You've been under your bed for 3 years.
Don't reveal my secret. Don't.
We have man cooties.
Yeah, Young ISOM is my favorite new comic book character because.
Yeah.
Why even choose this name?
Young ISOM. He's an accept, Blissful Haze.
Oh.
An accept.
What the fuck is that anyway?
It's accept. You know.
What?
Weeping Stormtrooper, yes, we know of this person. We do not speak his name for, not fear, but just for annoyance of not wanting to deal with this psycho shit.
Yeah. I mean, I was asking Dane this about, like, is this like a new thing? Is he restarting the ISOM story, or is this just like, I don't know, how many are there so far? 2? Like, is this
I'm suspecting that he's just going to try and start calling the comic, if he puts any more comics of it out about this, going to call it that, and it's just like, he's not going to address it, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to do this except for that,
Why the fuck is ISOM this buff? What does he do?
He's an accept.
Worships. He's got Christ cock there.
He does have the Christ dick, so...
Ah.
The power of Christ compels you.
That is... This is how he fucking beats someone. It's like in Kung Fu Panda when Po uses his tummy to fight Tai Lung. It's just... The villain comes towards ISOM and he just crotch shots him.
So I joined Star Wars Theory's Discord server, and I was very pleasantly surprised to see that there's quite a bit of his audience who were like not into the drama and bullshit content. And they're like really waiting for him to get past it. But there are some that are definitely cool with it, and he seems to be trying to have both of those audiences exist at once. So I mean, I don't think that there's just because he's doing some regular Star Wars content or whatever in one example doesn't mean that he's not doing the regular. And also it could just be that he's trying to fucking recruit some people over their bullshit radicalization crap. So you got to pay the Star Wars toll, right, to get in people's good side.
And then real quick, you actually are missing a book because Horseman is out.
It's not out yet.
Is it out? I don't know. I
think they started selling it.
Thought it was hilarious to say Horseman because, God damn it. You know.
What about my favorite comic book of all time, Norfolka?
Fuck.
I need to fucking see that shit.
What
They
happened
did
to
release that one dude, the polymath book, right?
and what happened to Goodying?
Yeah, I think Goodying did come out.
No, it did. Did you guys ever read or see that thing that Mike Barron wrote about that?
About
No.
Goodying?
It kind of seems like Mike Barron might be grifting Eric July a little bit, and then it makes you wonder if like all of these guys, these comics guys that Eric has hired, are kind of like, out of the whenever he's not looking, like this fucking idiot.
It would explain so much of their half-ass work.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably paying them a decent amount, probably not what they would want or what they used to get paid, maybe, but he's probably paying them maybe more. Who knows? Just because he wants that fucking prestige of these washed up old dudes. And yeah, and then they're just like, wow, we get all this money, and this fucking idiot just lets us put whatever amount of work we want into it because he doesn't know any better. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. What else we got? There's that. Good job. Who the fuck is this? Oh my god.
Who just came
What?
in? Oh, what? Hello.
Oh,
Hey.
Eric came in. The
So
ultimate grifter guys. You know,
Can you think of another reason why this would be this way? Other than the lawsuit?
What? No, it's 100% because of the lawsuit. He did a whole stream yesterday trying to explain why it's titled Young Isom, and immediately I was like, it's the lawsuit. There'd be no reason to explain it if it was obvious why it was titled Young Isom. So he did a whole separate stream from Tuesday night's main event to explain why it's got titled Young Isom. So
What's his reasoning?
he said because it's clearly, let me turn the volume down on this. I've got family members coming in from out of town, so hold on, let me
Oh, nice.
lower the volume.
It's clearly what?
So- Sorry, I have family members coming in. They're evacuating from Florida, so the doors.
Oh yeah,
gonna be
clean
open
up
closing,
weed shit,
so-
dude, for sure.
Yeah. But he did a whole stream explaining why, and he said clearly it's a younger version of Isom.
No, fuck
And I'm
that.
like, that's not. You would still not put it. You would not title the character Young Isom, like Young Rippa. Like, why would you
Yeah.
do that? Like, it doesn't make
Unless
any
he's a
sense.
child, like fucking
Right.
obvious, like a child. I want to show you this image that I put together back whenever Isom #1 was coming out, because I noticed there were several different ways that I noticed him looking Isom in different forms of merch. and stuff.
God, there's so many. Yeah.
And so this is just like from when the first issue was coming out, and it just goes to show that like, no, this is exactly. Well, give me a second. God damn it. Fuck you. Get out of my way.
1 second. Buzzer.
Yeah, it's
Outta
gonna be,
here.
it's gonna be a minute.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a minute.
Time's
Go ahead.
up.
Also, the statue's not very good looking. Just put it
No.
out there. It's not a good statue. It's not dynamic.
I would say
standing,
it's par for
stationary,
the
like-
course from Ripverse products.
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
I
bit
mean,
higher
to be
average
fair
for
though,
that.
I think if we're comparing their statue qualities, clearly the Yaira statue is a better statue. But yeah. Oh yeah, the different ones.
Name them all.
They said it's based on it's the pandemic haircut Isom is the one this is supposed to be
Oh,
based
okay.
on. So, which is I believe the Kanan White version of it. So
Are these all from the issues?
they're
no, it
between
must be
issues,
from-
covers, and promotional. I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like,
This is the same guy.
This is from the comic, and
Yeah, that one's from the
the
comic. That's
comic.
where he's confronting the one.
yeah.
Bouncer beats him up.
Everything else is not.
What if in issue 3 the whole thing was that there's actually multiple Isoms and that's his power, and
That would be the
that's what
most
makes him
interesting
cool.
thing in the fucking
That
book.
if you were like
Yeah.
multiple man or something, yeah, I mean that would be
Yeah.
interesting actually.
And like that's planned from the start. That's why there's different drawings.
And that's why he
Planning
quit
this
because there's multiple versions of him still out there as Isom, and he decided he was going to
Exactly.
Yeah, there's gonna be young
Virtualize the
Isom,
mastermind.
old Isom. There's gonna be everything but Isom.
Low watermark is interesting here. He says that this the lawsuit plus the failed sales of the Yaira statue, which was delayed 2 quarters. Yeah, I saw that they pushed that back by 2 quarters because they weren't able to match the sales they needed. Young Isom is from a cheaper toy maker too, which by the way, I think it's Iron Studios is a Brazilian toy maker.
Wow.
So it's connected with the Glass House or whatever that is.
Does anybody know? Is there like just a thing where like people that know? Is there some kind of secret amongst industrial types that like, oh, you go through Brazil and get shit made cheap? Like, is that just a thing?
I time to think it is because I keep on hearing that over and over again.
Yeah, the video. Also, another thing I noticed, because I was driving around yesterday doing some stuff for work, and so I just had the Eric July, painfully had the Eric July podcast on while he was talking about.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Well, because actually I wanted to see what his excuse was for titling it Young Isom. That was why I tuned in. But it seems like every single stream he does to fill in time, he sits and laments about starting his business. Every single stream.
Well,
like,
yeah, he hates it. He's
like,
money.
oh, when I started this 2 years ago, I didn't think we'd be where we are, and blah blah blah. He does it every single stream. Every time he streams about Ripverse, he spends a good like half an hour recanting, like investing his own money and starting his business from the ground up. And that's great, but it's been 2 years, and you've talked about that every time you stream since then. So I'm like, why are we still talking about that? It's almost like he's doing it just to constantly remind critics that he invested his own money in the company or something. Like,
right.
I don't give a fuck about that. I think it's all funny to me. Like, the whole thing is funny. That's what people are like, you want him to fail? No, I actually think it's funny that he's doing all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't want him to fail, man. Like, I want him to just like basically just continue to make just enough money to keep struggling. That's fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to me that, and honestly, I was looking at Twitter the other day at his account. Let me check and see here if it's still like that. But he did a little thank you tweet or something for supporters of the Ripverse. Was this from yesterday? Let me look. Double check this. Oh wait, 4 hours ago. Isom's name was not changed to Young Isom. This is simply the name theme of the statue because it's a younger depiction. The distinction is important to the story. No, it's not. It is not. You're a liar. I'm calling you a liar. You're a liar because you did the font and everything as one full name on the statue. If you just wanted it to be Young Isom, it would say Isom, and then underneath of it, it would say Young or Young Isom. It would not say Young Isom. Like, you wouldn't do that all the same. We're not fucking stupid, Eric.
Yeah.
Are you you serious?
What? I mean, is he trying to say, hey, listen, I have this character. He's the flagship character of my universe. And for his first statue, I'm going to randomly do a young version of him. That makes no fucking sense.
And then he says in the trailer they use the name Isom. Right, because it is not the trailers that you went to court for. It is the merchandise you were selling. That is why. It is the physical merchandise. That was what you were going to court over. Not using the name in the trailer or on post on social media. It was literally the stuff you were selling to people. If you used the name Isom and you never sold it at any point, they probably wouldn't have gave a shit. But it's about your merchandise. It's about your comic books, your t-shirts, and now your statues.
Yep.
That was what the lawsuit was about.
Well, there's a reason he's leaning so much on the statues too, because I think he must have recognized that this is a better way for me to make money than just actual comic books. Right?
Well, I think it's funny because let's talk about his criticism of EVS, which this is let them fight, basically is the way I feel about it. But his criticism of EVS is that EVS sells toys instead of comic books. Like, he's always saying that CG comics are late. A lot of them are. A lot of them are years and years and years late. And so he's not saying something that isn't true, but he's always like, EVS is on stream selling toys, selling merch, whatever, not getting his comic books out and whatnot. He's doing that now. Eric is doing that now. This is officially the second statue that he's launched. And he's not putting out books with these characters in them. I'm not saying that they're late per se, but now his Gyra statue has been delayed by 2 quarters.
Do you know what the difference is? That and I guess this is a defense of Ethan, oddly, but Ethan actually works on creatively the stuff that he puts out.
Oh yeah, Eric doesn't have anything to do with this stuff. Yeah,
he may not, but he may be lazy about it. But like, Eric just hires people to do shit.
Yeah. So he did an appreciation post yesterday for the 50 Young Isom statues sold or whatever. And he said, I appreciate the hell out of you all. And it's only like 7 replies to it. And I think one of them is just like a spam reply or something. I don't feel that enthusiasm that he says he's seeing for his company is getting, it's dwindling. Like it's becoming part of just like a little, it's like behavioral for his streams. Matter of fact, I think his stream yesterday barely, it wasn't even close to the numbers he gets for like the Rip and the Silverback streams or whatever. Because at this point, I think the reason why, this is just me sort of like brainstorming this, I think the reason why he's seeing people, you know, leave his channel and not watch his stuff or whatever is he's becoming a car salesman. He's just trying to sell his merch, and people that subscribe to his channel didn't subscribe to be sold products to every single day. And it's an interesting choice. He said he knows that it's going to affect his channel, but I mean, it's going to kill his channel inevitably if he keeps doing this.
So, check out a little Ripverse on subreddit here. Oh, 2 online. Wow.
Man,
Braxcast holding it down, man. Salute to Braxcast. It's constantly holding down the entire fucking community.
Well, you know what's funny about that Braxcast guy is that is someone who I think really does love, for whatever reason, loves the Ripverse stuff. He gets no support from the community.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like no one watches his content. Nobody goes over there and engages with his streams.
Well,
and,
yeah, he has one upvote.
Let's be honest. Like, you know, there might be people who genuinely love this Ripverse, and you know, bless them. But everybody watches Eric for his, you know, essentially his shit throwing,
for the drama,
his outrage content. Yeah.
But I mean, like they're saying the same thing. Like this guy loves Ripverse. He's making positive Ripverse content. He's not engaging in the drama online, and he gets no support from the Ripverse. You know, Eric is constantly getting on reminding people that Young Isom is not the real name of the character or whatever, even though clearly they went through the trouble of making a logo with the name Young Isom. But then he doesn't really talk about these kinds of guys, the guys who are out there. He's like, shout out to all of them or whatever. But are you really doing, like, you're not cultivating the positive parts of your community. You're not doing that. So, I don't know. It's just interesting to me. He says he doesn't want to be a part of it, but...
This post is interesting.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Yeah. I love Eric July. Man knows his comic books. No, he doesn't. Insightful comments on the state of the industry. Nope. His politics don't exactly align. Yeah, that's true for me. I'd be happy living in Eric's perfect world. I'm sure he'd be happy in mine. That sounds kind of weird to say that. I hate origin stories. I don't need to know that Peter Parker was bitten by a radio spiker. Yes, I guess you do. You just hate stories then. You don't fucking... Oh, my God. It's so dumb.
Well, here's the thing with him. He probably just jumped to Amazing Spider-Man #1. And it was just like, yeah, who needs an origin story? Who needs...
I mean, because like obviously origin stories are needed, like the background for why a superhero is a superhero. If he means like, oh, I don't need to I don't know, you know, like with Spider-Man, it's like, oh, I don't need another origin story. It's like some people are like that, but with something like Isom, like you need to know how.
That's a great thing about Spider-Man. He doesn't have an origin story. You just pick up Amazing Spider-Man #1 and he's right there. And, you know, no origin.
Oh, lovely. Hell yeah.
I love this guy's like, the books aren't worth $35.
Right.
That's funny.
He's like, best $5 I ever spent. But not $35.
Sounds about right.
Everybody's, I mean, look, at least these people are being honest. You know, not like the what you call them, Chris Bacon people that ran him out of the community for just posting facts.
Well, Mikey J, you make a good comment here about what are the chances a youth group named Young Isom is currently commencing legal action.
Oh, no.
I think it's interesting to me that he says he doesn't want to be a self-insert, but somehow Isom's turns into Young Isom, like Young Rippa. Like, give me a break. Whoops. Young Isom 5'9". That's his new name.
I mean, you don't have to give an origin story as in like a flashback. Here's everything that happened all at once. You don't have to do that.
No.
But if a character has some kind of special powers compared to the other characters in the story, you're gonna want to know exactly how that happened.
Yeah. I mean, let's just be fair here. That first Isom comic is awful.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's just.
Well, I mean, I thought the second one was worse. Like.
You see, if I twist my arm, I'd probably go for 2 over 1, but they both suck balls.
The first one just was nothing. Nothing was like, it was all just like waiting for something to happen that mattered, and it didn't. And then like the second one was just crazy random dumb
Yeah,
shit.
the
happening.
second one's kind of batshit, which is why I think I enjoy it more. I think they're both like.
I think I like the second one more because at least it does something. There's
Yeah, it's got the
action and
room
there's something
quality to it,
happening.
right?
But,
But, you know,
yeah, it's like, hey, this guy's kidnapped. Let's go to a cave that's the depths of fucking hell. What the hell are we doing?
See, Lil Isom does flow better, but he would never call himself or his character Lil.
no.
You know.
And I
Yeah.
do appreciate how they progressed the Jasmine story in issue 2 as well. I think
You mean
it's
it
good to
doesn't
keep
go
us
anywhere?
engaged with
Yeah, it
that.
doesn't go
I
anywhere.
think she's mentioned once, and it's not even by ISO. It's not on his mind. Oh, that girl I'm looking for, I'll fuck her. I'm done.
Well, I mean, we'll get to that, but they're not talking about it mainly because it's their fault, and it also exposes that all the rest of the other narratives are bullshit. But actually, it's, you know, DJ, I was just going to play your 8-minute video today because I didn't think you were going to be on here because that video was excellent. How you broke all that down.
Yeah,
So,
where I
go
went
ahead
in
and
and
do that again
looked at all the white male failures over the last 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pretty funny. I had a lot more, but I just wanted to use a few. in
The
there.
first one you went to, I was like, my man went to John Carter. Holy shit.
What was I thought like Disney? Let me find something from Disney that had a white guy that failed, and that was one of the biggest ones. So,
Well, I mean, we could go ahead and break this down because here's the Marvels. As we all know, this is the biggest box office flop of all time. No movie is worse than the Marvels ever. Oh, wait a minute. Here's Morbius.
Yeah.
Starring a white guy. Jesus Christ. That's pathetic. Oh, here's Shazam too. Oh, that's even worse. And now we got Joker too. So, I mean, you know, now, I mean, we always like whenever a movie starring a woman comes out and flops, we always got to discuss.
but wait a
can we
minute,
have-
didn't
should we have
last year
women
we just
starring
have
movies?
a massive movie called Barbie with a woman in it that did like amazingly well? I mean, I feel
Shut
like
up.
that was
That's not that. No.
They're
no.
fucking
Eric,
audiences, or they have
Listen.
goldfish memories. It's crazy.
We have all these movies starring white men that are bombing. Clearly, we got asked how long Hollywood's going to conform to these white men. How long?
I know it's
how long will this keep
truly-
on going?
It is very what would Elon say? Interesting, or we should look into this, or
Interesting.
something like that. Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get joke, go broke.
Yeah.
You know?
The thing is, I really like comparing the Marvels to Joker because they're both, because Joker made $1 billion,
So, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and so did
The Marvels.
Captain
Or
Marvel.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
Captain Marvel,
Yeah, and so I think these two movies are a pretty good comparison because when the Marvels came out, there was a lot of people doing the whole. I think we need to start having a discussion.
Yeah.
About the use of women in leading roles in massive franchises, but you just don't see that in any way now. Like, no one is saying, "Oh, well," except for us right now because we're taking the piss out of it, right? But no one's saying, "Oh, we should try to reconsider the role of the white man in big franchises." Like, that's just not going to happen.
I am saying that. We should
Well,
seriously.
I
Have,
will
we
say-
need to sit down and have a discussion about this.
There were so many comments under my video that you could see they didn't watch my video because I spent like the first half sort of playing that role, like saying this is why we shouldn't have white guys in leads or whatever. And then at the halfway mark, I'm like, all jokes aside, here is what's really happening, and they don't make it that far. So a lot of the comments are like, "How stupid are you?" And literally responses to that are, "You didn't watch the video," and most of them didn't. They just came there to leave something.
Well, I mean,
negative
I
on it,
did
so.
that tweet that got a lot of attention on Twitter, but essentially it was me. But I got a whole bunch of chuds debunking it, and I'm like, what's beautiful about this is that right now you're debunking your own fucking arguments on this stuff. You realize that, right?
I got into an argument with somebody under one of your tweets about like the Captain Marvel, and I know Dane, you jumped in on that a little bit too.
God,
I don't know what it's going to take for people to understand that marketing and placement of the film is part of the film itself. Like when someone makes a movie and they decide where the movie's going to go in the year, they decide how they're going to market the movie, what they're going to tie it to, how they're going to connect it to the other films, if there are other films.
So you mean like the because it only made $1 billion because it was between Infinity War and Endgame?
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay, but how come Ant-Man and the Wasp didn't?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And
when I said that, they said, "Well, which one had an end credit scene with tying it in?"
Oh.
And I said, "So you're saying an end credit scene equals $1 billion movie?" And they were like, "No." I said, "Well, then why did you even use that as a?
But
Why
they
did you
both
say
have an
that?
end credit scene that ties in the movies.
Right, but I'm saying like that doesn't mean the movie's going to make $1 billion. Like an end credit scene doesn't equal $1 billion.
Well, and also Joker being the Joker, like it's not like it was just a movie that came out and nobody had any familiarity with. Not only do they have familiarity with Joker, they have familiarity with fucking Taxi Driver and King of Comedy.
But even so, what does the Joker need to do to make people excited? It's the fucking Joker. Like this isn't Captain Marvel, a character that a lot of people who didn't read comic books had no idea who this was. The Joker is the fucking Joker. Like, it's got a bigger platform and a launching pad than Captain Marvel ever had, regardless of whether or not it was teased in Endgame, because it's just, or Infinity War, because there is, like, the history of the Joker is directly connected to Batman, which is why so many people were upset that Batman wasn't going to be tied to these films. But at the end of the day, that movie, directed by Todd Phillips, the guy who fucking said Hollywood is too woke, so I'm not going to be making comedies anymore. So that's number one. They got that guy in the bag. He came out and said the studios had nothing to do with this. There was no DEI. There was no forced feminism or anything like that in this movie. He made the movie that he wanted to make. He didn't even answer to James Gunn. He ignored James Gunn's notes. There was no test screenings for this movie. Like, everything you could possibly want from a director-driven project happened with Joker 2.
So check this out. I found this article that says Todd Phillips told Variety for a cover story that the goal in making the sequel to 2019's Joker was to make it feel like it was made by crazy people. And that Joaquin Phoenix was constantly just like ripping up and throwing up pieces of the fucking script, and they would just like rewrite stuff in the last minute. You know, it's like they were not. Yeah, that's why it was a bad movie. I think.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is though, this is the kind of and then fucking Hollywood Reporter made a soften the blow article about Todd Phillips. Hang in there, Todd Phillips. And I'm like, y'all came after Dia DaCosta.
Yeah.
And all this other shit. You claimed there was fighting on the set and all this other bullshit when the Marvels was getting dogpiled. And you're like, oh, but we need to coddle Todd Phillips. Fuck you. Fuck your whole fucking magazine.
Well, here's the deal. Like,
it's like, what the fuck?
Here's Todd Phillips is part of the problem, because here's the problem. The problem is white men. Obviously, white men can't sell these movies. We need to. Okay. I'll keep on.
No, I know we're joking about it, but in that joke does lie a bit of that systemic problem when it comes to like white men and the privilege they have in media. Yes. Todd Phillips is getting coddled because he's a white guy, and he's also anti-woke, and that's why everybody's like, well, we're just gonna let's lift him up. I mean, it's okay. This happens to everybody. Francis Ford Coppola came out and like was giving him props about it. Oh, I'm so glad. Congratulations. It's like all of this stuff happens to him, but anytime someone in a marginalized community is in charge of a property, it's like never let them near the editing booth again. Never put them behind the camera again. Right. Never let them read a script again. This is the kind of stuff that happens to people who are marginalized. And this is why I say what I say about all this shit. It's why we all do it. This is the problem. Yes, everyone is capable of making a good film. Everybody is capable of making a bad film. That's not the argument that anybody's making. We are arguing about the entire cultural, like, the institution around this and how it works on social media and how people just run with it. There is a monetary reason why these guys, these channels, these outlets, these articles, these editorial places, there's a reason why they do these kinds of things, because there's money in it. And anytime somebody does something solely for money, you have to question the reasons behind that. And so you look back and you're like, well, maybe it isn't such a good idea to dogpile a woman who directed a movie that didn't perform well and immediately start saying that she has no talent.
Let me because this is actually a fucking excellent point that you're bringing up here. Example rather. So yes, that happened. That happens all the fucking time. Right. That happens a lot. This is an article that fucking pointed this out whenever really is something that just happens constantly. Like she had another film waiting to go, and she was going to do something else. Like
she actually explained in context. So like she stuck around for a while. Marvel's got pushed back multiple times, and she stuck around for a while. She was pushing back for other projects, and eventually it reached a point where she was going to lose that project. So she said, "Okay, I got to go do this other project."
But the way that it was,
and then they shat on her.
Said, "Fuck this," and left the fucking post-production
away. And it's
again, also post-production. All the primary filming was done. Was done. On set stuff was done. We're talking about editing room stuff.
Yeah, editing, sound.
many cases, the director will check in on that thing, like, that kind of thing. Maybe once a day, maybe once a week. Who knows? But, like, they're not always going to be there, right there every day. You know.
Sometimes you have directors that sit there and pretty much co-edit, or might even edit themselves.
There's
Sometimes you have
also
directors that just have editors that they trust, and
Yeah.
Marvel has their own editors. So probably Marvel just has their own editors working on shit.
Yeah, I mean, and there's also the reason why we have a team working on these movies is because there's no one person doing everything. That's ridiculous. Like she has other people working for her, or he would have other people working for him that are there to do their job as editors, as producer, all the people involved with it, light, sound, they all have jobs to do. She's not going to micromanage everything, but she will oversee the bigger portions of it. Meaning after they're done with some stuff, they would send it to her and say, hey, do you like this? Do you not like this? That's the way that typically works. But the whole issue is that Todd Phillips is their dude. Like I said in my video, this is a guy who pretty much reflects the values that these guys have. He cut out scenes of queerness in Joker 2 that were improvised by Lady Gaga because he didn't want that to be in there. So he even took quote unquote woke stuff out of the movie. There's nothing in this movie inherently woke or feminist or any of these things.
Some fucked up, kind of implications about gay people or something. There's like sexual assault or some shit.
Yes.
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 That is the one.
That's
that
the
is
other
the one
thing.
potential gay part of the movie.
Yeah, and it shows gay people as bad people. So there, everything in this movie on paper does exactly what these guys are asking for. But all of a sudden, because it's failing, they have to come up with some sort of mythical reason why it's all of a sudden woke or something like that. It doesn't make any sense. They can't even explain why it's woke. They just keep saying it is. Todd Phillips had the studio didn't have anything to do with this. James Gunn didn't have anything to do with this. He literally made this movie the way he wanted to make it and said that it's a movie for the fans of Joaquin. So it is literally a vehicle for Joaquin Phoenix.
Lots of people are desperate to blame Lady Gaga in some way, and it's like, how? She was literally just a supporting character. What evidence do you have?
She did right. Like, okay, Bob, you've seen the movie, right?
Yes.
Okay. It feels to me like they took a bigger story that she had and just kind of reduced her to being a facilitator for things that Arthur did in the film. And
I
read the plot. I wanted to, because I'm not going to see it. So I wanted to see what it's about. I read what happens in it and stuff. That's pretty funny. The whole ending and everything. It's funny that there are people that are pissed off about it, but sorry, that's not what we're talking about. Sorry.
No. I mean, it's one of those things where Harley Quinn, honestly, she could have been anybody in the movie. She didn't have to be Harley Quinn. She could have been a completely different character if they wanted her to be. There was nothing unique about her. Lady Gaga sounded good singing, but it's Lady Gaga. I mean, she's going to sound good singing.
Well, I mean, the only ones that sang were her and Joaquin Phoenix, and Joaquin Phoenix did not sound good. But she sounded great.
It felt like one of those weird things where it's like, it reminded me of Furiosa, right? You remember how there was like this cope thing with Furiosa where the movie didn't commit any of the any of the woke sins that these guys would normally complain about, like girl bossing and all that. So they had to come up with a reason. And their reason for that movie was that we should have expected it, or people expected it to be woke because there was a woman in the lead. That was their thing, was like, this is what Hollywood has been giving us, so this is why that movie failed.
Yeah.
In regards to what were we going to say? Sorry.
I was just going to say that the whole argument with that movie was essentially, oh, well, it's a Mad Max movie without Mad Max. And that they just ran on that to the ground, ignoring the fact that it's a decent fucking movie.
This guy seems to be saying that because Todd Phillips wasn't doing a culture war thing, that means that the Chuds aren't, doesn't apply to the culture war, basically.
All right. Okay. Phillips also said he made the movie despite, I haven't seen that quote, but I have seen that circulating. So I don't know if that's an actual quote. And I've read a lot about this movie. But even if he did that, even if that was the case, what does that have to do with stuff being woke when that's what they're saying? That's what the Chuds are saying. I didn't say that Todd Phillips was actually the person making woke content. I said that is what they claimed this movie was.
Right.
I mean, we got Joker 2 this week, and then last week we got Megalopolis, and it just brought together because we brought Francis Ford Coppola. And in my mind, we have in 2 weeks 2 movies that I think should be talked about and studied, and not because they're fucking good, just because how the fuck was this created? What the fuck happened?
Which movie? What is that? What's coming out in 2 weeks?
Oh, Megalopolis. It was last week.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, it's two filmmakers, in my opinion, that are pushing themselves further than they can go, and it fucking shows.
Yeah, I mean, this whole Joker 2 thing and what a lot of shows are saying about it, it's another example of the good things are not woke and bad things are woke.
I want to say, I just looked this up. No, Todd Phillips did not say he did it despite people. A Twitter user said that. This is why you guys went, and no offense to who said this, but I'm just going to put this out there.
I say offense to that person.
Listening to what these channels are telling you without doing your own fucking research. The actual quote from Todd Phillips is, he's always been Arthur Fleck. He's never been this thing that's put upon him. The idea that Gotham people put on him that he represents. That is the quote that people are saying he admits to doing this out of spite. He never said that. That is something that the chuds are saying about him. Again, stop getting your news from these guys. Stop. I'm imploring you. If they say something that sounds sus, go fact check it. That took me 5 seconds to look that up. Fuck. This is so infuriating. It really is.
It's like,
I can't even have a conversation about anything without people bringing in disinformation.
Yay, internet.
You know, Joker should have been a standalone movie. And in one way, I kind of like do think it is a bit funny. I'm not going to really give any credit, but like, yeah, Joker should have been, it shouldn't have been made really at all. But like the fact that it was, and it made so much money and was so successful, okay. But then of course they're going to want another fucking movie. They want a sequel. Yeah. And in that way, Todd Phillips just kind of blowing this version of the Joker up is kind of funny to me.
It is.
It is kind of Joker-like when you think about it. That he's just like...
I am all for these Elseworld stories being ridiculous. I get it. I understand. The only thing that I want when I go to a movie is to feel like I was entertained. And this movie was boring to me. That is the problem. It was a very boring fucking movie. They could have done this story and made it interesting and made it exciting and done something with it, but it wasn't. It was like 2 hours, like most of that runtime was just pointless dialogue and exposition and recanting what happened in the first movie. I just didn't care.
I mean, we got those musical numbers, and here's the problem with the musical numbers. It's clear that Todd Phillips has no idea how to fucking handle a musical number because there's nothing special about it. They just randomly start going into song. And there's a couple ones where it's like, okay, this is okay. For the most part, you just have characters going into song and then other characters just sitting around and watching. That's it.
Funny.
It's like, oh my God, this is nothing.
And there's no, and I'm trying to remember, I don't think there's any like big production numbers. It's mostly just Lee and Arthur performing. Most of them. Yeah. So
the best one for me was the courtroom scene one, and that's Arthur by himself. And
yeah,
there's a reason why they won't release that, because that's fucking Joaquin Phoenix, and his voice is not amazing in this.
There's a lot of movies that got sequels where I'm like, I'm just going to ignore them. Like Coming to America, the second one, the Coming to America.
That was surprisingly not terrible.
Well, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't at the level of the first movie. And Coming to America is one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Don't Breathe too.
Yeah, I just choose to ignore that one. So, but yeah, it's just like, it's one of those things where they could have probably not done it. But when you have like, I fully suspect at some point a Barbie 2 will get pitched and probably get made.
Oh, I pretty much guarantee you it will, and I'm a little terrified of that one because that was a very good standalone movie. We'll have to see if they get really desperate and do Oppenheimer too as well.
Nice. Well, they're doing Passion of the Christ too, right? Isn't that one they're doing? So like that's gonna be
sure. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're gonna get the Toys cinematic universe. Just getting Action Man and stuff.
It's like I actually wrote I've got 2 essays I've written that I need to make videos for. I'm not good at making essay videos, but I wrote out some script, and one of them is about media literacy. And holy shit. Oh yeah.
John Amos and James Earl Jones died recently.
We lost both of the dads from Coming to America. Yeah. Well, it says even the title is confusing. Coming to America, Coming Back to America would have made more sense. I actually, I think they had the perfect opportunity of titling it Going to Africa or Coming Back to Africa or Coming to Africa. So they could have tied the family story into like the African aspect of it. That would have been hilarious. It just a lot of missed opportunities. That's it. Like it wasn't, like Bob said, it wasn't awful, but it wasn't like at the level of of the
Oh
first
no,
movie.
I did. Listen, I went into it semi-expecting it to be awful, and I was pleasantly surprised. I won't, call it amazing or anything. I've only seen it the once, but when you're expecting a shit show and it's like okay, it's like hey, okay.
I mean, it just okay. So this it was turned into a completely different argument about our discussion about this, but you have people like Eddie Murphy, like a once in a generation type talent that when he has the opportunity to do the stuff he does, it's amazing. He's had some stinkers.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Oh God.
But when the focus isn't on him as the main character, it starts to get a little iffy. You just kind of want to let him do what he does. And the movies that have been poorly received with Eddie Murphy are typically the ones that try to funnel him into a role. So I feel like that's what happened with Coming to America. They didn't really let him shine in that movie. Anyway, I don't know. We could probably do a stream about Coming to America one day.
Yeah, we're doing it, guys.
But no, I made an essay about media literacy, and as I'm going through it, I was getting angry as I was typing. I'm like writing out my notes, because I truly believe that's probably one of the biggest problems we're dealing with right now. Is we mentioned it before. The guys aren't engaging. Like the people that watch these channels aren't engaging with the shows and movies. They're watching these guys pretend to engage with the shows or movies, and they allow them to tell them what happened and tell them what to be mad about, and it's just it's really bad.
So I guess before we move on, so I brought up a Nerderotics review of Joker 2. There's not a whole lot I want to go over. You want to know the shocking thing about his review of Joker 2? I mostly agreed with it, and I think it's interesting that he's willing to do a nuanced, thoughtful review when it's a man's movie that fails. But when it's a woman's movie that fails, it's like the cringiest shit you've ever seen and all this bullshit he's got makeup. But anyways, the reason I wanted to bring up this review, because he does something really fucking shitty at the beginning. I just wanted to get your guys' reaction.
Product.com.
We're going to skip a little bit here. Oh, here we go. See if you can see what he's leaving out.
Something into existence by gaslighting the world and pushing the narrative that this film would somehow lead to incel violence.
Security concerns surrounding the new Joker movie, the FBI, the LAPD, among those taking action.
Concerned that the new Joker movie could be used as an excuse for a mass authorities are taking every precaution to keep moviegoers safe.
In New York, police were on high alert at a special screening at the Lincoln Center on Wednesday night. There was also heightened security here in LA.
When in truth, at the time, the only violence that was happening in movie theaters was for Frozen 2.
So, yeah, you can probably guess the key element he's leaving out there, where he's acting like people are overreacting over a Joker movie being violent. Aurora, Colorado happened, fucking Gary. Like, the fuck? Why do you have to be this dishonest? It's frustrating.
Like Joker.
Yes.
Wait, what happened there?
Aurora, Colorado.
There was a
midnight screening.
Yeah, there was a
opening night of The Dark Knight Rises. There was a shooting.
Oh yeah.
Dude said he was inspired by the Joker. So,
well, also I want to point out I've had several arguments on social media about people that feel like this Joker. They even use the word inspiration, like they ruined my inspiration or whatever. And I'm like, what was inspiring about this version of the Joker in the first movie?
Dude, yeah, I do. Listen, I enjoy the first Joker movie. I don't think it's as good as people make out. I think it's fine, but people act like he's like some sort of this epic societal hero, and it's like, no, this is a dude who's been fucked up by society.
Yeah. What the fuck is a hoax? What is a hoax?
I have no idea, but
I don't know what he's referencing.
This fucking guy is like unhinged.
But I don't know. I just thought it was disgusting how Gary.
Also, I thought it was interesting. He threw in like Frozen, like had to take a shot at Disney. Like let me get an opportunity to take a shot at Disney here. So
yeah, you don't want to actually go into the actual data as to why people were concerned about a shooting during that movie. Don't look at that, guys. They're overreacting and being clowns. It's like, you dishonest fuck. I'm sorry.
Well, so like, I have this clip here from the other night where I was talking about it was on my live stream and talking about Nerderotic and shit, and this guy that I don't mean to call him out, but I didn't hide his name on here either. But he's been around the channel for a while, but he just doesn't come around often. And he was just kind of saying that he called Nerdrotic just a shitty fan or something. I was like, he's not a fan really. And he's like, oh, I'm not gonna play those semantic games of like, oh, he's just a fan. And I'm like, no, man, literally. And yeah, this is what happened. Observe someone and decide, is that someone, do they fit the description of what a fan means? And he does not. That's why anti-fandom is the term for him. Literally, it's not me just like coming up with a slur to say about him or something mean. Like, no, literally, there's not a better word to describe what this guy does other than grifter, anti-fan grifter, is because fandom is about community. It's about fostering a healthy community and engaging with the media in a healthy way and creating entry points for other people, giving access to people and making productive content that are and expressing your appreciation for things in ways that it's generally going to grow the thing and foster community. He does the exact opposite of that. No, it's not.
No, true.
Yeah. That's why we call him that, by the way.
Yeah.
I think Savage Carnage is an idiot. Sorry.
Whichever name he's going by this stream, yeah.
You see this right here?
What the
He's
hell?
an idiot.
That's just wrong.
Dude. Like, this is a guy who, oh man, I'm not even gonna get into it, but I fucking
I don't.
Bob knows.
Dude, it's not a hoax, bro.
I mean, trying to tell the dude anything, any kind of sense is just, I don't know, it's been a couple of years.
Literally, look at this. Casualties. 12 fatalities were reported with 70 injuries. 70 were hit by bullets and reported by mainstream news as the most victims of any mass pew-pew in United States history.
Up until that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is fake. This is why people like Alex Jones are losing everything they have because they say dumb shit like.
Did you know anybody can edit Wikipedia? Sorry, that's usually what that type of
No.
person.
Yeah, they could, except there's a million resources down here at the bottom that tell you that all of this information has been reviewed. Look at this. So unless every single one of these 200 resources is absolutely wrong.
But Red Letter Media debunked it.
You've got to be joking. What?
Like every once in a while, people ask me, oh, well, I'm not saying, you literally just said it. You literally just said it. Savage. Like, if you're going to come in here and you're going to troll, at least be clever about it or something. Like, I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's not trolling. He's just a silly guy.
It doesn't look. Talk about semantics. It doesn't matter.
That's not what you said.
Actual people who did this. It happened at a screening of this particular movie. They were taking security precautions.
And his hair looked like show the picture what the guy looked like at the time. Jesus Christ.
All right, let me find out. Hold on.
Okay, and also, if that's not what you're saying, if you were just trying to say what you're saying now, then you went about it all the wrong way by saying, "Do those a hoax?" That is not how you imply. It's not how you say that. Oh, he wasn't actually inspired by the Joker, because that was a hoax. Says that whole thing was fake. Yeah, I mean,
how do we know he was inspired by the Joker? I
mean, partly
the other thing
he talked about it.
The other thing is, at the end of the day, what difference does that make in the bigger picture? He went to a screening of a movie wearing a Joker outfit, even if he wasn't inspired by the Joker, dressed as the Joker, to do this. The Joker movie that's coming out is a red pill fucking movie with a director who's complained about wokeness. They were worried that was going to inspire violence and they wanted to take precautions to it. Dismissing that and going, oh, there's no reason for them to feel that way is exactly why we have so many gun problems in this fucking country right now. This is the exact reason why.
that doesn't prove he was inspired by.
I'm so tired of like this fucking. The amount of people that are stupid that own guns is the biggest fucking problem we have. That's the biggest problem. Is the ignorance. Like the vast majority of people that I hear talking about violence when it comes to weapons are the dumbest motherfuckers.
Yeah,
they
and
just
by the way,
are.
if you're in Florida and you're one of those people, you cannot shoot a hurricane. Okay.
Right.
You can drop a
Don't
nuke
try.
in it though.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. Like, why are we? Why would you even? What was the purpose of debunking that other than to get outrage clicks? What is the point? Jesus. I'm sort of taken aback by the sheer stupidity we get sometimes in the comments. Like, I really am like, holy fuck. Holy fuck. Y'all really need to like touch grass. Like, go out and do something. Make some friends. Make some friends. Go out and do things once in a while. I'll tell you what, one thing I love is going to the movies with my friends, not inspired by the Joker. Not dressed up.
I mean, if the whole thing was fake, like they took some huge precautions because remember that was actually a midnight screening when midnight screenings were at midnight. Because I remember that, and then
I think that might have been one of the reasons why screenings moved up because of that.
Oh,
like
it absolutely was.
Several hours. Now on Thursdays, I can go see a movie at like 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
yeah, you can go at 7:00 and see the movie that gets released on Friday.
I don't even know why they call it Thursday.
The reason why they're not talking about Joker 2 at all, in the way that in any way that like Matt makes any sense or matters, is because it would just there's no way to. It's hard. Would be really hard for them. They'd have to work too hard to make it not look bad on them.
Yeah,
I think.
They can't get behind it, and they also don't necessarily want to go hard against it, so they have to create reasons why it's bad.
Yeah,
like they did with Furiosa.
Because they can't
that's
afford
the problem.
any more losses right now, guys. Because we are in the middle of goddamn. Really ought to cut off that.
You know what? I also believe this is my prediction. I've been really good with these predictions, so I'm going to say this is my prediction. We're going to see more and more of these like movies that shouldn't necessarily be bashed because they're woke get sort of caught in the crossfire because they're running out of things to complain about. They're running out of property.
Yeah.
Like I said, the worst thing that could possibly happen to these guys is all of the stuff they complain about stops making movies, stops making TV shows. This is not what they want. Contrary to what they tell you, they don't want a better Hollywood. They want Hollywood to keep being shit, according to them.
Yeah.
Because that is where they make their money.
I actually said that in a.
They don't want
post on
wokeness
Twitter
to be
yesterday
gone.
that got a lot of play. About let's see, where's that? Here we go. I called out Nerdrotic in a comment under his video just because, like, you know, I just sometimes I come across his videos or whatever, and I'm like, God damn it, you fucking ass clown. And what's that? God damn it. Too many things. All right. So I made this just to kind of call him out some more on Twitter. But the commenter in his video says he only tries to cancel because he's talking about cancel Lord of the Rings. And if you guys have heard me like weeks ago, I was saying that it's one of the reasons that they're so fine, like going hard against Rings of Power, is because Bezos has committed to 5 seasons of it. They know that it's going to be here no matter what, even if 3 people watch it every week. You know what I mean? So like he's literally saying just cancel the show or whatever, and it's like he's only doing that because he knows they're not going to.
Right.
And this is building on a point that you've made, you know, like making you've made really well before, Eric. But like, yeah.
Think about this. What would the world look like, Dane, if there were no Lord of the Rings, there were no Game of Thrones, there were no Star Wars, there were no Marvel properties? What would the world look like for these guys if those things didn't exist?
They'd be having a
big grift on Citizen Kane too.
Yeah, they would have no career. They would have none. Because when Nerdrotic was trying hard to be the cool guy that talked positively about media, he was getting no views.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would he go back to that again? Would they go back to like propping up stuff that they like at that point?
I'm getting rid of this motherfucker because now he's under his other account, trying to make claims that nobody fucking said. Just like, are you? Like,
oh, it was Mika. Oh,
yeah, it's the same guy. Same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah.
How is it? Another thing. Do you even understand what tribalism means? What does that even mean? Like, I showed you 200 sources that talk in detail about that event. You called it a hoax. That was the first statement that you made. If that was you, I'm assuming it was. You said it was a hoax, and then you're like, I didn't say it wasn't real. And then so-and-so debunked it. But then it wasn't inspired by the Joker. What goalpost is the next goalpost? Which one is it? Because my only claim in that whole thing was that they had a reason to be concerned because of that event happening. That was my only claim.
Anyways,
all right.
I don't know.
Well, speaking of other things, because something that was said recently kind of inspired, remind me of this fucking Variety article.
Oh yeah.
Classic fandom, how Hollywood is battling fans who are just out for blood, from social media boot camps to super fan focus groups. I don't know if I feel like reading through this whole thing, but like
it's a lot.
The conclusion of the whole thing is a little fucking terrifying. So obviously it's talking about toxic fandom. There's some takes throughout here that I'm like, yeah, somebody gets it. And then some takes where it's like, not really. But essentially, like they're going through possible ideas. And then one of the big ones, it seems like, is they will elect super fans to help regulate this to a degree. I don't even begin to understand what the fuck the super fans are.
That was one of the issues was, Bob, is right. We're trying to figure out what a super, what is the criteria for a super fan?
The Chuds managed to make people start immediately thinking of them and like the YouTube daddies, you know, like, well, you should be Nerd Rock and Critical Drinker. And it's like, okay, but they're not going to do that because they may actually be stupid enough to get whatever they consider super fans, but they're not going to get people and then like, you know, like Will Jordan and not realize maybe we should look at his YouTube channel, how he literally only says negative things about Disney 100% of the time. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to put somebody like that in one of these groups.
They still think they're the fucking fans. Like,
well, the part of the point of the super fans though is to figure out what they can do with this media so that the toxic fans won't get so outraged by it. And it's like, bro, they're outraged merchants.
The thing that they are also they're outraged, but they're also an extension of cultural. They're fascism, and you don't appease fascists because they will just fucking continue shitting on you, and they'll take advantage of anything that you give them. They'll take more.
This is what happens when they. Oh, sorry, Turf. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, if I was a creative, right, and I'm making art, I'm not gonna try to like if I wanted to appease someone. First of all, I'd want to do it for myself. But if I wanted to make one group of people happy, I wouldn't try to make the people who hate everything I do happy. I try to make
it's not going to work. It's never going to work. That's the problem.
Exactly.
It's never going to work.
Their whole livelihood depends on what you do, or their whole livelihood depends on them hating what it is you make.
That's why I can't believe the studios are this fucking stupid. I can't believe they're this stupid. Like it's unbelievable to me. You're never going to make them like you. No. And trying to appease them is only going to inspire them to be more critical of your work, because once you start doing that, they're going to be like, well, what about this? Well, what about that? They're going to start cherry picking even more so than they are doing right now.
Oh, look, dude, I love your video. I watched one of your videos about me. That was pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried to watch one of your videos on me, man. I just couldn't.
It was funny how he was like, all right, let's see what Dane says here. And then like I would say like 3 words, and then he would just kind of like skim through the next few minutes and go, I don't know. You're not making a case here, Dane.
Hold on though. This is what the studio should be doing. I've read the opposite. It seems like Nerdrotic and all those guys think that this is awful because they think it's going to be SJW controlled. So which is it? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Which one is it, Backseater? I'm curious, because a lot of people in the Fandom Minutes think it's a bad thing, even though this is because of them. I also want to point out that the studios right now, I don't know if we've talked about it or not, but the Acolyte, Jodie Turner-Smith said that Disney literally didn't give them any support for any of the racist stuff that was happening with them.
Really?
0. Yeah, she called him out.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah, Disney should be well prepared by now.
She said there was nothing there. And this honestly is why allyship is such a very tricky thing. when you are an ally, that means you're in it through the good and the bad times. You have to stick through with marginalized communities. You have to stick with them, even when odds are not in your favor, because that is what true allyship is. This, to me, just sort of reminds me that rainbow and pink capitalism is a thing, and these studios don't really care. Because if they did, they would continue to fight. Because they have the largest tools to fight back against this compared to all of the other people out there who are struggling, dealing with all this toxicity. And instead of actually standing up to them, they're like, it's getting a little hot in the building, so we're just going to cave in and sort of do these focus groups. And even if this isn't true, even if it never comes to happen, they've already kind of chummed the water for these guys. So this is where we are with them. You know what I mean?
I mean, so yeah, sorry, Reggie. Like that kind of guy, like he literally had his chance on Bob's stream. Like they debated, they had a conversation. He had his chance to make the strongest fucking cases against Bob, and generally what we probably agree with Bob on, as he possibly could. And he came off like a fucking moron who just believes dumb shit because it
backseater. Yeah, I want to say I saw that backseater thing.
Yeah,
and I want you to know. And you're probably going to be offended by this because you completely misconstrue everything that we say usually. Form some of your own thoughts. Because when you were talking to Bob, all you were doing was repeating what those guys have said. I didn't hear any one thing that you said that sounds like you came to that conclusion yourself.
Yeah, that's the deal. So like backseater, the thing that I want you to keep in mind too is that I kind of view you like, yeah, you're kind of getting yourself in your comments and all that stuff, and you're putting yourself out there, which, okay. But, like, you're kind of a victim of these guys. You've just taken everything these guys have said and eternalized it. And these guys are selling you shit. They're selling you outrage for the sake of outrage.
And you're so desperate to avoid fucking, any kind of cognitive dissonance from realizing that some of the things we say actually do make sense, and you're recognizing that on some level. But then you're like lashing out and like throwing out this bullshit. Like when the video I watched of where you reviewed one of my videos about Eric July, you literally were like, just listen to me say a couple of words, dude. And then you would skim through the next couple minutes of the video and start arguing against points that I didn't even have time to make, much less I didn't even say them in the video if you would have actually watched it. And it was like I was watching a fucking fever dream play out because you're not actually engaging with the points. You're just defending, blindly defending. Yeah.
With my video, it was like I'm sitting at the beginning giving my lead up to what I was going to say, and the whole time he's like, "Get on with it, get to the point, get on with it." Like that's what he was doing with my video, and I'm like,
"They did that."
Yeah, and then he started like he sped me up to like 2x, and I'm like, I'm all for speeding people up if they're a little bit slow, but you were going so quickly. There's no way under the sun you could have been listening to what I was saying. No way.
You guys got further in the videos you watched.
No, I mean, I got bored so fast. He's just got like a impulse control disorder and can't sit still long enough to listen to a point being made.
If you see me debunk videos on my channel, I will pitch them up a little bit, but then I will sit through at least 70% of their video before I'm like, I can't take this anymore. But I at least try to give them an opportunity to say what they're going to say. When he was doing it to the one video that I watched of mine, it was like a lot of like, and I feel like beep, you don't feel like anything, blah, blah, blah. And I wish a beep, no. And I'm like, give me a chance to say something if you're going to, because the thing is, I'm pretty sure he watched my video ahead of time and he already knew what I was going to say. So he wanted to rebuttal that. So he was just jumping through it, and that's fine. If that's your style, doesn't work for me. Sorry. I mean, I can't respond to that. It's a lot of like, just basically talking over my points and dismissing everything that I'm saying, instead of debunking it or providing any other context. I think that's important.
That's the thing. You can't like once you've seen somebody like that and you know that they doesn't really know how to hear arguments in a logical way, much less rebuke them in any kind of logical way. Like there's no point in really engaging with somebody like that anymore until they learn how to communicate better. Which is possible, I suppose.
I feel like Bob kind of put him in the corner a couple of times because I don't think he had thought about his answers, and because he was repeating stuff that the bully channels had said, and so he didn't have a real feeling about it, so he couldn't give you an answer. That was kind of what I noticed.
What was it that he needed to make? A movie needs to make like what, 3 times its budget or some shit?
Thor: Love and Thunder need $1.5 billion to break even.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But at the same time,
and it's not getting made.
But at the same time, remember, marketing doesn't matter according to these guys. Where you place a movie and how much you spend on advertising, it doesn't count until it's time to talk about the budget of the film, and then we add that in.
For that Thor: Love and Thunder came up, and I thought of why that movie doesn't work so well. It fucking clicked compared to Ragnarok, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ragnarok literally has a planet, and then the character of like the Grandmaster and everything that like centers the goofiness, right?
Yeah.
Love and Thunder doesn't. It doesn't have that, but it still tries to have that goofiness, right? So it's just like goofiness happening everywhere, and it's not tethered to anything. So it just seems kind of like fucking, messy.
The first I want to say first half hour of Love and Thunder really weighs it down because it is way too goofy during that first half hour, and then it does get a bit more serious. But then they still as good as Christian Bale is in that fucking movie, and he is fucking beast mode in that movie. They fucking waste the God Killer when they have a fucking city of gods and they do nothing with that. It's like, how do you do that?
Yeah, the fact that we left that city of gods with just God massacre.
Yeah, I was expecting that city to get wasted, and nope. It's like, oh, okay.
Can we talk about Absolute Batman?
I haven't read it yet, but I have picked it up. I mean,
it's fucking good.
I am intrigued.
What's this new? I've heard about this new Absolute stuff in DC, but
I have a video about it. You should watch it.
Oh, nice! Just announced to everyone that I haven't watched it.
So DC right now is not doing well. That's what the bottom line is. They're actually doing as badly as Comicsgate wants to make the entire industry out to be. Like DC, Marvel had generally
I also say DC's
Marvel
got
has
some good books right now. Marvel does too, but DC's kind of impressing me recently too.
But their sales aren't so. They have great books, but their sales aren't doing so great.
Yeah.
Marvel's got in the top 10 books each month, Marvel will have 6, 7, 8 of them will be Marvel. And then the other two will be one DC or two DCs. And then, or there was last year, it was 7 Marvel, 2 DC, and then 1 Image or something. This year, it's 1 fewer DC book in the top 10 each month than there was last year. And it's just, that's not a good trend.
No.
There was a time when they were fucking neck and neck. And I'm a Marvel fan, but I want to see DC do well. And I think Marvel does better when DC is fucking giving them a run for their money.
I mean, I've been a Marvel fan most of my life, and it's not like I dislike DC. I like DC. I prefer Marvel, but I always recognize they're better when they're neck and neck, when they're actually competing. That's when they really step it up and really do the good stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel a little unfortunate because DC, the sales are down, but I'm liking pretty much all the DC books I'm reading. Marvel, I like them, but
great,
they feel
man.
safer.
Absolute Power 4-issue fucking event series. I didn't read any of the tie-ins, and I still enjoyed the shit out of it.
I will tell you, I've read a whole bunch of Blood Hunt. I read a whole bunch of Absolute Power. Those are the big 2 major crossover events for these comic book companies. I enjoyed Blood Hunt overall, but Absolute Power is just so much better. The main series is amazing. There's some tie-ins that are great,
really strong,
great.
and then just kind of didn't really live up to it. But
yeah, and it ended okay, but in the middle, there's a lot of mid.
No, yeah,
even with how strong Blood Hunt started, Absolute Power started stronger, in my opinion.
Disagree. Okay, so here's what we're gonna be doing.
I mean, that's cool, Dane. You can be wrong. It's fine.
We are gonna have a bit of a debate, an initiative debate before too long. We're gonna be doing the Bob versus Bob.
Who's gonna be involved with that?
Well, Bob, and we'll see who the other one is gonna be.
What? What?
But yeah, we need to kind of work on that, boys, behind the scenes, and figure out what days we can maybe all be available for that for a little while.
Yes.
Or day.
Yes.
If it's just going to be on a... Well, for Bob of the old ways, though, he typically works during the day, so that's the thing with him. So if we're going to have him on, then, yeah. But we'll see. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
We're also probably going to do handing out some chilies, right?
Yes, all this is going to be in context of celebrating 2 fucking years of this shit, boys, and all that we've accomplished.
Yeah.
2 years of our outrage content of pointing out that the white man is destroying movies.
2 years of
And
doing
we've
the
finally
exact same thing.
succeeded.
Yes.
The white man is no
Content
more
as
in
the other
movies.
guys, from the different direction though. They like to accuse us of.
All right. You know what? Honestly, all this talking about our 2-year thing is just making me like want to jump in glee, and I wish someone would take a photo of me mid jump.
Oh yeah,
just to see how happy I am.
Yeah.
He created the first major American car company in generations, and his rocket company is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space. Come here.
Doesn't he do it here in a second?
Take over, Elias.
That must have been it, yeah.
He does it again. There he goes.
Oh, God.
Yippee.
Let me see. I'm sure I can dig up an actual, like, high-quality photo.
No, I don't know if this is real, but I saw this thing that was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Let me see if I can find it here.
It's just, and we need to watch a little bit of this speech because it really is just not good.
Okay, look at this. I don't know if this is real. Somebody please tell me.
No, like the photo, right? Or
No, the comment.
Yeah. Oh, maybe actors should mind their own business and stop picking on people with developmental disorders.
Look who it's from.
My Elon Musk.
Is that his mom calling him out? I'm sorry.
Jeez,
it's just too funny.
Yeah, but this photo.
Jesus Christ.
I can't imagine this has been good for Trump, that photo.
I mean, it's not him looking bad, you know?
Yeah, but it's someone who's like associated with him. I don't know.
Listen, I don't want to be a jerk, but I will be a jerk because I don't understand this face. So this is a different photo. He makes the same fucking face. I just can't.
Well, I mean, you got to remember he's had some work done in recent years. You can probably only make too much face.
Well, no. He naturally, as you get older, as you go into your 50s, your hair, your widow's peak starts filling in naturally.
Right.
You know that, right?
your scars disappear.
It's how testosterone works. Yeah.
All right.
Let's just watch a little bit of this because it is.
Hi, everyone.
He looks like a cancer patient right now.
Great moment here. Just listen.
As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA. Well,
Fucking
all,
amazing. Brilliant.
To be here.
Brilliant.
And, the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire. And we had one president who couldn't climb a flight of stairs, and another who was fist pumping after getting shot.
And another who won't shut up about going a ramp.
This looks so pathetic.
It's really
it is. Yeah.
It looks desperate and pathetic.
Fight! Blood coming down the face. Now, America is the home of the brave.
God, why do you talk like this?
And there's no truer test than courage
He's
under
so
fire.
awkward.
Yeah, he's so awkward.
Who do you want representing America? Yeah.
What?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
Yeah, Kamala Harris.
Do you get Kamala still?
So
somebody
I
who
don't
can
know, like,
speak confidently and not say dumb shit for 5 seconds. And
I need your opinions on this. Do you guys think that he like prepared beforehand? Like, is this a prepared speech? Like,
I think he probably had some like general things.
You
wanted to say.
part of me really hopes it is because it's bad.
Exactly. Like, I think he just has some things that he thought like, oh yeah, this will be good to say, but I can't imagine that he's standing there with his prepared speech.
He's definitely the kind of guy that because he's a fucking billionaire and he never actually has created a goddamn thing himself. He's convinced himself that he does just shit excellence.
Yeah,
so like,
exactly.
So
everything.
did you even have we even looked up what dark MAGA means? I just found out the definition of dark MAGA. There's actually a meaning for it.
It actually means something. I thought it was just Elon being
it's
like
from
edgelord
April of
shit.
2020. April of 2022 is when the term came around, and it says dark MAGA is the meme culture more so than a political slogan. Dark MAGA is a post-alt-right aesthetic that promotes an authoritarian version of Trump in a dystopian future. Terminator-like images. In some, the Trump Tower is painted entirely in black, and the former president is seen piercing the screen with blue laser eyes. So it's literally just like a dystopian future meme thing of Trump, is what.
So
Dark
what?
MAGA
It's the
is.
absolute universe. What?
It just goes to show that like Elon is just perpetually online. That's his entire existence. And even standing here in front of these people, he's having trouble coherently speaking because he's all over the place. It seems like he's very awkward. It's really kind of cringe. And calling himself Dark MAGA is the most immature, like teenager thing you could possibly do in this moment.
Yeah.
It's just really, really desperate and stupid. He is trying Trump is doing everything he can to try to stay relevant with people outside of his bubble. And the thing is, Elon had already been locked in with the MAGA community, so I don't know if this does any good.
Yeah.
Like, bringing in somebody who wasn't previously a supporter of his, that is now a supporter, that could bring in other voters, that makes sense. Bringing Elon in doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I would get it after the recent thing, like maybe bring Zachary Levi in here and be like, hey, do a speech.
Yeah, that
for
was
me.
something.
Yeah.
That was something. Yeah.
I mean, it was
like
the most.
obviously Elon Musk is a lot larger, but like Elon Musk has been a Republican for a long time. He's been
Dude,
a MAGA head.
Elon's fans are Trump voters. Let's be serious.
Exactly. And also with,
Zachary
like,
Levi, we all saw it coming, but like Elon Musk, everybody knew. Come on.
Yeah, and like with the whole like being online, like I said to Bob before the stream, it's like this man was meant to just stay behind a screen. He's
100%.
meant to be the god of the edgelords, and like do his memes and talk about how he plays Elden Ring and stuff. Like when he's out here, he's just awkward and he feels like he doesn't belong. He doesn't know what to do with himself. And it's just like. And there's many times throughout this speech where he says the same thing over and over again. It's not prepared. And also like me and Bob also talked about, at least with Trump, like I really don't like Trump, but at least he's charismatic to a certain extent. Like,
I mean, that carries his entire campaign as his charisma.
Yeah,
that's literally
exactly.
all he has. But
it's not a charisma in like the sense like, oh, I want to get to know him, I want to be close to him because I really do not want to, right? But it's like, but he has a charisma about him. I can see that if I was kind of stupid or if I was a bigot, right? He'd be an attractive personality. I don't see that with Elon Musk. Like he's just awkward. He sounds weak. He sounds pathetic.
All of those things.
It's just 100%. It's a really bad look for them, which is great for us, right? But yeah,
this is a real quick video, but Daniel, apparently you missed this one. Oh crap, I didn't.
You didn't share it with sound.
Let me share this properly. Yeah.
Mika, just so you know, if you keep coming in and trying to claim that the shooting thing was a hoax or whatever it is you're trying to claim, we're beyond that conversation. So you're just gonna get the comments gonna get removed.
What the hell is it doing? Here, let's go ahead and just do it like this. We'll see how this goes. Hold on, internet connection.
And in a perfect world, would have that look like? Perhaps I would have voted for Bobby. But we don't live in a perfect world. In fact, we live in a very broken one. We live in a country.
Why does it sound weird?
Yeah, why is it so?
It doesn't sound. It's not just low. It sounds like it's a robot.
We are going to take back this country.
Yeah, it's very low sound and it's like robotic.
I think the point is made because he is standing there in front of his thing that says Trump Pence, and he's
yeah.
But of the two choices that we have, we only have two.
Trump Pence. Oh, sorry, Vance, not Pence.
Here, we can take that down. I'll share it. I have it. We'll do it on mine.
Oh,
I'm not sure what's going
hello.
on.
Hold on. Technical issues. Hold on. Okay. Anyways, we got the point across. I don't know what was up with that video. That's fucking weird, though. What?
Yeah, that's weird. But like, how much is this realistically gonna do? Oh,
Zachary Levi has endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Turkey got commented.
Nice. I like that. Maybe if you're lucky 2 years, but we'll see.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, this is the clip. It's just him on stage sort of endorsing Trump. And the thing is, he was a RFK Jr. supporter originally.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is red flag city. Like, the fact that he was a supporter of that to begin with, and that transformed into a Trump supporter. I mean, it feels like he basically went from one, like, shitty pile of mud to the next shitty pile of mud. Like,
yeah,
it's just, holy shit.
Well, I mean, that was the whole point of RFK Jr. in the first place. Was to
RFK Jr. apparently literally had brain worms. So
yeah, I remember that.
Probably from eating a dog.
Jesus.
Yeah. But I mean, like, maybe I'm not fully aware of like how big Zachary Levi is, but
He's
like to
not
me,
big.
Yeah, like it's not a big thing. It's not like a Taylor Swift.
No,
you know,
not even
or
remotely close. The
yeah.
last movie he
Yeah.
made was Harold and the Purple Crayon or something, and that completely bombed on him.
Yeah.
The issue is he also was like anti-vaccines and all of this other stuff. So he was slowly losing fans anyway, which is probably why Shazam 2 didn't do as well, because all of that drama with the vaccine stuff happened like literally a month before Shazam came out, or the second Shazam came out. So I remember covering that on my channel, and I told everybody, I was like, this is going to affect the movie. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, it 100% is going to affect the movie. Like, he's on his social media platform that he promotes the movie with, also saying that vaccines are giving people health problems. Like, this is going to affect his movie.
Yeah,
and
it did.
You don't fucking support RFK Jr. and be a homie of mine, dude, because RFK Jr. wants to, like, essentially cure autism. Which it's not a disease.
That is not possible, and it's also not something that.
And people are like, do I disagree or agree with him being able to say it? I'm like, he can say whatever the fuck he wants to say, but
he
it's
can
going to
say
affect
it, and
his
we can
business.
criticize it.
It's going to affect his business. Like,
yeah.
He was in one of the best movies of that DC era with the first Shazam, one of the most fun, family-oriented movies they had, and then he ruined it. He threw it away. So
And I'm like one of the few people who I thought the second Shazam was fine. It's not as good as the first one, but it is fine.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I think a lot of people who looked at him and said, "I'm not going to support this movie," and that was pretty.
And
much
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
You know. But it's sort of like I like to call it the Gina Carano effect. Like, it's like the minute they don't think that they can work in the industry anymore, they shift over to Griftville. Like, go from like not being an actor to grifting. It's like
I wonder if they have like an agent that tells them, like, you've kind of crossed over. You're not going to be able.
You got to do a right wing grift for a little
bit. You have to hang out with My Pillow. You have to go on an erotic show. I guarantee Zachary Levi will end up on either a Critical Drinker show or a Nerdrotic show if this.
Or maybe just a Friday night shite.
Good, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've already reached out to him. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, Dean Cain's been on there already, hasn't he?
Oh, Dean Cain is actually doing a cartoon with Eric July, I think.
Oh yeah, he's doing. He's
the Horseman. He's the Horseman.
Yeah. Like, bro, you got the worst Superman, the TV Superman.
Well, the rom-com one, rom-com one.
Yeah, I used to like.
Didn't even have his name first.
Now I can't even watch it. Now I can't.
But I would not be surprised if we see like Friday Night Tights featuring Zachary Levi. I'm pretty sure it's coming.
Yeah, that wouldn't
surprise me at all.
Anyways, I do have to get going.
Yeah, I have to leave in a few minutes as well. So
fine.
But
are we gonna do this thing we always do, Bob? Or
what, Turf? You're staying longer?
Yep.
You're staying longer?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Shocking. Well, since you're staying longer, I'm gonna go home.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. See you guys next
Later.
week.
Later.
Bye. And a video in 3 years.
Fuck yeah. Excited, man. For that.
Good shit. Good shit.
Did we talk about the Star Wars girl drama? Did you guys talk about that?
No, I'm not even aware
no.
of it. I am like, if it's on Twitter, I'm not going to see it.
I wonder what
Yeah.
Star Wars girls' whole connection to the, you know, like the I don't know, nerdrotic and all that. Like, what's their arrangement about? You know?
I'm not sure what the arrangement is, but I did watch a video on how it all happened. Like, she started out just doing fun Star Wars videos, and then it kind of devolved into where she is now.
As it does if you don't have any talent or
Yeah.
anything interesting to say.
Yeah, pretty much. There was a drama about her being an artist, but just kind of tracing stuff. And so she had someone pay her like $3,000 to do some art. And it took her like 3 years to get the art to them or something. I don't remember. It was a weird video.
I remember something about a calendar where she'd done some poses for a calendar, and it was like late, well into the year that the calendar represented whenever it finally came out or something.
Whoops, right here, this stuff. Yeah, so there's a person on Twitter who has been kind of like with Grayson, sort of just asking YouTube to enforce their terms of service and to look into these videos. Sawyer is the person. They were asking YouTube to look into their terms of service, and
yeah, I'd seen that. I
like that.
ran into her channel the other day and invited her. I said on Twitter, I was like, "You should come on the show."
So the one of the lowest supported chuds in that space is Raging Rhino. Actually pretty sad. He tries his hardest. He's just trying so hard to be a top level bully grifter, and it's just not working for him. So he kind of buddies up with these folks or whatever, and it inflates his ego. He's kind of just, he's sort of like the one that just can't really, he's the bird that can't fly.
Maybe he's got
I mean, it tells you something. I've never heard of him before.
Yeah. I followed him for a while, seeing if he was ever going to like I said, I keep an eye on some channels to see what's going to happen with him. And I followed him for almost a year, and it really didn't see, like, his live streams don't get many people in it. And I'm talking in contrast to other people in that space. We're talking about like Ryan Cannell and, you know, Eric July, Nerdrotic, you know, fucking all of those guys, that Star Wars girl. 'Cause he streams with a lot of these guys, and his streams just don't get people. And I don't know. He doesn't seem to do anything better or worse than the rest of them. People don't really come in him. Anyway, point is, Sawyer was at a con. He was at a con. Raging Rhino was there. That Star Wars girl was there, and probably other people from the Fandom Menace. And Sawyer apparently was standing there, making a video for TikTok. And Raging Rhino walked up to Sawyer and started antagonizing her, which is exactly what these guys do. This is what they do. So, and this has been corroborated by that group. Raging Rhino walked over to her and politely started saying, "Oh, you're trying to cancel people, blah, 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 etc., this kind of bullshit." So he's over there antagonizing her. She gets on social media and is like, "This guy came up to me and just started antagonizing me," and, you know, just kind of pointed out what had happened. Anna was standing off to the side taking photos of Sawyer to put on Twitter to shame Sawyer, and then talk shit about Sawyer being a victim when literally Sawyer was approached by one of her friends.
Yep. I saw the
just
shaming photos.
Yeah, it's just like, what? So you're defending your friend going up to someone in person and basically trying to start an argument with them, when Sawyer wasn't doing anything to either of them in that moment. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. If you are not breaking YouTube's terms of service, then you should not fear YouTube's terms of service. You shouldn't fear it. If you're not doing any of those things that YouTube doesn't want you to do, you should have nothing to worry about.
Just like if you're not a racist, whenever Star Wars says don't be racist, then you shouldn't be upset.
Exactly. We're talking about a terms of service. It's in the website. If you have an issue with YouTube's terms of service, you don't go after Sawyer. You would want to take that up with YouTube, because Sawyer doesn't have anything to do with YouTube's terms of service. Just like if you have an issue with Disney as a company, go after Disney. You don't go after fucking any of the actors or directors or writers that have been hired by Disney, because they're employees of Disney. You go after Disney. You don't go after
that
somebody.
makes too much sense. You can't
Yeah,
do
I mean,
that.
it just doesn't. It's baffling to me. If I'm mad at Pizza Hut, I'm not going to go to my local Pizza Hut and start a fight with the manager there. If I have an issue with Pizza Hut as the company, I'm going to talk about Pizza Hut.
Bad? Should I not be doing that?
Sorry, did we call you out?
I feel called out. I feel called.
I have to get going, guys. I apologize.
Yeah, I have to go too. So,
all right. Well, I mean, I think we covered all the stuff we wanted to cover. So, yeah, I think we're good. So,
all right, let's do it.
Hey, party on.
Prosecutors allege a media company linked to conservative influencers who regularly reach millions, including Benny Johnson, was secretly funded by Russian state media employees.
And a little busy this week in the old news section of the internet.
Vladimir.
All